Northeast Georgia.
Reporter Katia Riedlinger here. Small microchips like these cause big issues for businesses in Athens. Coming up next.
The Jackson County Board of Education finalized some big-ticket items for the 2016 fiscal year budget. Find out what big decisions were made next.
This tree is one of the 21 trees that have come down after the storm last night in Athens, Clarke County. Find out what they're doing to get rid of them and what to expect tonight.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College at the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
It's been called the weather event of the century. Good evening and welcome to Grady Newsource. I'm Madison Kiger.
And I'm Richard Banton. South Carolina took the big hit, but Georgia was affected as well.
Stormy skies are almost out of the picture for Northeast Georgia, but the rain and wind left behind dozens of fallen trees and power outages.
Reporter Kaylin Wilson is live on UGA's campus with a weather update. Kaylin, when will this all be over?
Good news, guys. Officials say that it will all be cleaned up by tonight. Now, there are still some power outages, but they're small and in remote locations. Now, take a look behind me. There are lots of big trees still standing, but not all of them made it through the night, like this one. Across the street at LeConte Hall on UGA's campus, it came crashing down last night due to soaked soil from days of rain and brought down power outages with them. Crews have been working since about 1:30 a.m. on Sunday morning to clear them out of the roadways, and they will be working for the duration of the day to make sure that they are removed completely. Athens Clarke County Street and Drainage Superintendent Kevin Gentry says the impact of the storm was bad, but it could have been much worse.
Normal amount of rainfalls that can cause flooding if things aren't maintained. You know, the drains and the pipes aren't maintained. We spend a lot of time doing that to making sure that our community is safe and the roads don't flood.
Fortunately, our drainage system is working hard to make sure that flooding levels remain low, and the Oconee River is set to subside from flooding levels by tonight. I'll be back later to let you know if more rain is headed our way.
Well, while the coast might be clear here in Georgia, it's a different story for those in South Carolina.
Historic flooding continues to pound the state, leaving 9 people dead. As of early today, thousands of people still remain powerless and without clean, safe drinking water. Rescues are ongoing throughout the state as crews search for trapped residents. The Low Country has not seen this level of rain in 1,000 years, according to Governor Nikki Haley, who has stressed its danger.
Stay in your house. This is not something to be out taking pictures of. This is not something that you want your kids playing in. The water's not safe.
Unfortunately, the flooding is not expected to begin clearing up until Tuesday or Wednesday.
Crew members aboard cargo ship El Faro may have had a fatal brush with the violent storms raging off the Georgia-Florida coast. What you are looking at is video from El Faro's life ring recovered over the weekend. Searchers are still sifting through a massive debris field today in search of survivors.
So far, rescuers have found one unidentified body in a survival suit. The Coast Guard's first priority now is finding the other 32 passengers.
We are still looking for survivors or any signs of life, any signs of that vessel. We are still doing that. So the search for survivors continues.
Melissa now checks.
The cargo ship was en route to Puerto Rico when debris surfaced 70 miles off the coast.
Now, businesses, not credit card companies, can now be held responsible for credit card fraud. As of October 1st, if a business does not update their credit card reader, they will be held liable for any credit card theft. Reporter Katia Riedlinger talked to some local businesses. Katia, how are those businesses going to be affected?
That's right. I am currently downtown. All the businesses in this area will be affected by the change. Small businesses, however, are affected the greatest due to cost.
Count activity every day because she learned the hard way what can happen if you don't.
I found that my card number had been stolen and over $300 had been used on my account.
Melissa lost her money, but now businesses might be held responsible. As of October 1st, businesses that have not updated their credit card terminals will be held liable for any credit card theft. Laura Began, owner of University Spirit, updated their credit card technology a year ago and said that they did it for the additional security measures.
Went ahead and they told us to upgrade to the new machine. It just has a slot in the bottom where we stick the card in.
The new credit card readers work with the anti-fraud microchip in the credit cards. This chip has cut down on the fraud in other countries, but this big change comes at a price for small businesses. Big chains and some stores like this one have updated their systems, but most small businesses have been lagging behind.
With the chip, it's supposed to protect your personal information more.
The new microchip system takes a couple seconds longer, but to people like Melissa, it's priceless.
Knowing that it'll come with a chip and I can feel a lot more secure.
But you aren't safer everywhere. Not all businesses are updating technology simply because it costs too much. One businessman I spoke to said it would cost him upwards of $13,000 to update all of his machines. So it's not simply worth it for him. But the credit card companies don't care. Live from downtown, Katya Riedlinger, Grady Newsource.
Credit card companies hosted educational programs to encourage businesses to switch to the new technology.
Jackson County residents may have hit the jackpot with a lower millage rate in a new middle school. Reporter Lana Harris went to the county school board meeting this morning and found out about the changes made to the 2016 fiscal year budget.
All in favor?
All right. And the ayes have it. The Jackson County Board of Education has decided to lower the millage rate.
Because our tax digest and the value of property is slowly increased, we're able to roll back a little bit of our millage rate, but still yield the same revenue. Actually, a small increase in revenue. Our goal would be to keep rolling back and our property, the values go up so that we can reduce our millage rate.
And that's not the only big decision they made, because pretty soon this school will be nothing but a pile of rubble. West Jackson Primary School was vacated after a new addition to West Jackson Intermediate allowed those primary students to merge with them, making a full kindergarten through 5th grade elementary school.
It's really just an official process to close it. We're not displacing students. We're actually building a new middle school for those students.
And while these kids await their new middle school, they will continue to learn right around the corner. Lana Harris, Grady Newsource.
Now, if you aren't sure what a millage rate is or how it's calculated, you can visit our website at GradyNewsource.com for a breakdown of how that works.
Coming up, a story about a high school football player who is trying to do what no one in his family has done and what most people never have to go through.
Deer vehicle collision. Find out what one sheriff has to say on the matter.
Bureau County has had a vacancy for over 5 months now on the Board of Commissioners in District 3. Today marks the beginning of advanced voting for this special election. We'll have more on this election coming up.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you?
You know you do.
Yeah, but I don't know where to start. That's why we're here. We're free, handsome.
I think we're breathtaking.
And here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. I got this. Is that Bran? Colleges love extracurricular activities.
Chess really isn't my thing.
I got this. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Picking a college, man. You and us. Go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Fire and ice.
Those don't really go together.
Go to GetSchooled.com for more info.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If the door's locked, knock first, don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
Don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Advanced voting began today to fill the District 3 seat of the Barrow County Commission. Grady Newsource reporter Sam Lack takes a deeper look at this special election and how it has progressed. He is live in the newsroom now. Sam, how has it progressed?
It's been more than 7 years since Barrow County last elected a new District 3 commissioner. However, come Election Day next Tuesday, that will change. It was a calm and quiet morning at the Barrow County Elections Office, the site of advanced voting for the Barrow County Commissioner District 3 runoff. The position was held by Steve Worley since 2008, who resigned earlier this year in April after a federal indictment. 2 weeks later, the Board of Elections called for a special election, and 4 candidates qualified to fill the seat in early June. Bob Lofton, Scott Vickery, Roger Wehunt, and Don Wildsmith were placed on the ballot. However, after the special election voting concluded on September 15th, a majority vote was not reached. Wehunt led the pack with roughly 35% of all votes, while Vickery finished second with 31% of the total. Typically speaking, Barrow County would have 6 precinct locations for voting in District 3. However, for this special election, they decided to have just one, here at the church at Winder. In doing so, the county saved an estimated $15,000 in taxpayer money. There are nearly 5,000 registered voters in District 3, and only 192 of them voted in last month's election. That's less than 4%. The county hoped that by holding the elections at the church at Winder, it would be a central and convenient location for voters. However, more than half of votes came via an absentee ballot. Now, we last spoke to the election office earlier this afternoon around 3 o'clock, and at that moment in time, they'd already gotten 7 people vote in the office and 10 mail-in ballots as well. Now, be sure to check back to GradyNewsSource.com and also follow us on social media for up-to-date news on this election. Live from the newsroom, Sam Lack, Grady News Source.
Deer hunting season may be the safest time on Georgia roads. That's because the number of deer-car collisions drops. Reporter Savannah Brock takes a look at a recent UGA study, which has advice on how you can be safer.
Driving down any back road can be beautiful, until this. Over 200 people per year have died because of deer. The Georgia Department of Natural Resources states the current deer population exceeds 1.2 million. With the help of hunting, that number could go down.
The places that tend to have the most deer vehicle collisions have the least amount of hunting access.
In 1 year alone, up to 8,000 to 10,000 reported deer vehicle collisions occurred across all Georgia counties. But fall isn't the only time people need to be worried about deer. They can cross your path any time of the year.
I was going pretty fast, and a deer came sprinting out and flipped over my car, so it broke my windshield.
Gray got in her accident in May, which is typically a low alert time for deer. She was driving at night, which is when deer are more active, especially in rutting season, the time when the deer are searching for a mate. Jackson County Sheriff Janice Magdum posted Stickles' research on Facebook that focused on deer vehicle collision increase during breeding season.
We post things like that on our Facebook page to inform our public because it might make you think a little more about it. You know, be cautious of your speed because when they run out, you can't get stopped.
Sheriff Magdum said she sees at least 8 to 10 deer-related accidents per year, and that's just her own officers. Savannah Brock, Grady News Source.
If you live in Jackson County or the surrounding areas, there's 1 week you need to be extra careful, November 10th through the 16th. For more information, you can go to georgiawildlife.com.
My new mom and I have a lot in common. The great outside. We both love the outdoors.
So shiny.
That's not a flower. We both love geology.
Oh, look. An igneous one.
That's not a rock. And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
That's not a dog. Hanging out has been kind of fun.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
And now, the weather.
You see this picture behind me? It may not be sunny, but it sure is dry at last. I'm Kaylin Wilson, and I have your weather forecast for this week. As you can see, the reason why the rain has finally gone away is the low pressure system that's carried all that wet weather to Georgia is finally moving on. That means drier skies and comfortable fall temperatures for us in the days to come. Now, the low pressure system is not quite gone away, where we're seeing lots of flooding, and south to Florida. So what that means for us is that the rain will stick around for a little while longer. We'll stay at 69 degrees around now with cloudy skies, but drop to about 61 degrees and then 56 degrees by tonight with a 30% chance of rain, so hold on to your raincoats. Moving into our 5-day forecast, we're gonna see much better temperatures and no rain. We'll be at the mid to upper 70s and for our highs and our low 50s for our lows. And that's our weather.
Hey, this job looks perfect. It says you need people skills. Check. Driver's license. Check. And a high school diploma. You've got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that. You are good to go.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him going on to fascinate millions with his talent, 1 in 260,000. The odds of this born racer having 157 career top 10 finishes in NASCAR, 1 in 125 billion. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year, 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 68. I'm NASCAR driver Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Hi, I'm Sammy O'Brien with sports. One USA Today sports writer Dan Wilkin said Georgia is nationally known for being an SEC contender with talent, but has underachieved for the last 10 years. Wilkin said nationally Coach Mark Richt is highly respected as a person, but at some point, the fact that they haven't broken through or played well against some of the most elite SEC schools is a negative. It happened again. Georgia head coach Mark Richt had a chance to win a big game and change some experts' perception of Georgia as a team that comes up small in big games. Instead, Richt and the Bulldogs got blasted by Alabama, making it the third consecutive time Richt has lost to Nick Saban.
We didn't have many counter punches for them. Just got out coached and outplayed today.
The Alabama loss joins the ranks of the 2014 loss to Florida and 2012 loss to South Carolina as embarrassing shortcomings for the Bulldogs. USA Today's Dan Wolken puts up some of Georgia's shortcomings on Richt and his desire to win the Georgia way.
The fact that they haven't really broken through and that they don't always play very well against, the best, most elite teams in the SEC is sort of a negative.
Richt is in his 15th season with the Bulldogs and has seen 4 other SEC schools win national championships in that time. If Georgia fails to win the national championship this year, it will have been 35 years since its last national championship. Despite all of its issues, Georgia continues to be loyal to Richt. According to Wilkin, this is because of Richt's ideals and his ability to avoid a disastrous season, as the Bulldogs have just one losing season in his tenure.
I don't ever foresee a day where Mark Richt or any Georgia coach has it falling off a cliff. The question is, what's going to get him to the next level?
Richt has won 2 SEC championships in his 15 years as head coach. If he fails to win this year, it will have been a decade since his last conference championship. One local high school football player is using athletics to try and do something no one in his family has done before: go to college. But his story is much more than that. It's a story of struggle that would have stopped most young people from even trying. Eric Bell has been knocked down, kicked in the dirt, and then some, all before his senior year of high school. As a sophomore, his parents divorced, forcing him and his mother to relocate to North Oconee. When his mom moved back, he decided to stay with his girlfriend until one of his best friends died in a car accident.
And then on top of it, the girl and I broke up, and then my mom was just tripping on me and it was just a bad situation. I just reacted the wrong way, I guess.
Eric moved to his uncle's for a while and stopped attending classes April of his junior year.
Everything he's been through, most people would classify it as making me swim the river and then throwing me weights, making me do the work, but then tying my hands. That's the kind of thing that life dealt you.
Over this summer, Eric emailed the school principal to try and graduate. Dr. Brown let Eric take a test to get back in. If he passed, he could be back on track to graduate and play football for his senior season.
And literally went into the math class having not been there for 3 or 4 weeks and makes a 98 on the final. That's pretty special.
I was pretty excited. I was really down whenever I figured out I wasn't going to be able to play and all that stuff, so I felt pretty good whenever I figured out I could again.
A teammate's mother took Eric in at the beginning of the semester. After bouncing house to house, Eric finally settled into a home.
She treats them just like she treats us. She tells them she loves them and everything, and basically they get along really well.
It's pretty sweet. It almost feels like having a normal family again, I guess. She treats me like her own son, so.
With a steady home and a plan to graduate in May, Eric hopes to be the first in his family to attend college despite the hand he was dealt.
He just sort of dropped out because life had given him a whole lot more than what he should be carrying.
It wasn't easy, I know that's a fact, but just gotta keep going, I guess, that's life.
Sammy O'Brien, Grady Sports Source. Now, Coach Tooley is the one who told me about Eric. And as he went through the long list of things Eric's gone through, well, on a personal note, I will admit if I had one of those issues, I don't think I'd be where he is today.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours.
Dr. King, what's your next move?
In March from Selma to Montgomery.
Selma's loud for every man, woman, and child.
We will not wait any longer.
In front of a crowd.
Thine eyes have seen the glory. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Okay, Simon, what do people wear?
Clothes.
That's right. So it's important to learn how to dress yourself. Here's how it's done. Shirt, underwear, pants, socks, shoes. Underwear, always first, name tag on the back. Then pants and shirt. Go ahead and put this on. Now with the shirt, you want to make sure the first button's right or you have to start all over again, okay? Socks left on left, right on right. Tying the shoes, we're going to take the laces, we're going to cross them over, we're going to turn around where the bunny goes down in the hole, pull it tight, and bunny ears. Got it?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Hey, Gabby, how you doing? How's the play date and sleepover?
Dad, it was great.
Awesome. Okay, I'm on my way. Hey, guys, what are you doing?
We're going swimming. I'm going biking. Yeah!
I'll see you in a little bit, guys. I love you.
Hi, babe. How was school today?
Hi, Dad. It was great.
Okay, honey. I'll be home soon. Remember, you're never too far away from your kids to be a dad. Reach out and take a second to check in, because sometimes the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
The weekend football game brought in a lot of people, but also a lot of trash. Reporter Jordan Abernathy tells us how Keep Athens Beautiful is trying to spread awareness about litter and how you can help.
Keep Athens Beautiful says that your dirty secret is out, and now it's time to clean it up. It's time to get an intervention on your littering problem. Littervention. This urges people to be more cautious about how they dispose of waste and what to do when they see waste in a lighthearted way. Keep Athens Beautiful education specialist Stacy Smith says that she wanted the message to reach out past Going Green advocates and more to those who don't know about the litter problem.
One of the angles that we really wanted was for people to be able to talk to other people, because a lot of times we feel like we're reaching people that wouldn't litter anyways, and this kind of gives people a chance to say, hey, my friend litters.
Littervention.
Time for littervention there, dude.
Exactly. We can all make a difference. If you see trash, simply pick it up, throw it away, and you've already made a difference. This way we can keep a clean and healthy environment. Although the litter index has dropped a little this year, the presence of trash on the streets and on campus is upsetting to any resident of Athens. It only takes a small effort to make a big change in this environment. There are a number of recycling stations around UGA, as well as the Athens community. Jordan Abernathy, Grady Newsource.
That's all we have for you this evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Madison Kiger.
And I'm Richard Banton. Good night.
Grady Newsource is a student production of the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of Georgia, which is solely responsible for its contents. Views expressed do not represent those of the administration nor the Board of Regents at the University System of Georgia.